Hi, you're here there, Luis, or here there, the Global Playlist. This week we are visiting Denmark, a country that is probably better known for its contribution to the film industry rather than to music, despite the fact that it is also homeland to wonderful and very well-known music artists. As a matter of fact, it has a long and rich music tradition in which jazz and a quite unique fondness for communal singing stand out. Actually, Danes have an over 100-year-old songbook that still remains one of the best-selling books in its new and revised editions. There's also an amazing local scene formed by bands, singers, rappers and DJs, definitely worth discovering, and an unbelievable circuit of concert venues and music festivals. Let's learn a bit more with our lovely guest Mia, and let's discover what song she has chosen to represent Denmark in the Global Playlist. Well guys, please welcome Mia from Aarhus, Denmark. Thanks for visiting the Global Playlist, Mia. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Could you tell us something about you, please?
Yes, my name is Mia. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Denmark. I live in Denmark, and I've been living in Stockholm in Sweden for 3 years, but a couple of months ago I moved back. I have an education in marketing and PR, but I've always loved music. So I've been working in the different audio specters for the last couple of years, and I loved it.
How is growing up and living in Denmark?
It's not exactly a music country, you might say. We focus a lot on film production and video production instead. Basically, when I lived in Sweden, we saw a very big difference in the cultural aspects, and especially music, because Sweden is considered to be a music country.
Absolutely.
And Denmark is considered to be a film production company. So I didn't grow up learning any instruments. I took a few singing lessons, but I never really got any good at it whatsoever. In all of those teenage years, I just locked myself in my teenage room and just spent many hours a day just listening to lyrics of old rock bands and stuff. So I think that's what I spent the majority of my time doing, especially when I was a teenager.
Okay, so let's talk about music. How and when did you started listening to music?
The funny thing is that my dad, he always kept the radio going in the kitchen when I was a very small girl. I think when I started like seriously listening to music on my own was maybe when I was 10 or something. I got my own stereo with these huge speakers that I got from my dad. I was audio taping everything that came on the radio, and I was like trying to mix the best tapes, cassette tapes that I could.
To create mixtapes for your own and to share with your friends, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what genres or artists did you start with? Do you remember any names?
Actually, I had a cassette tape where I was mixing Kylie Minogue on every time her songs came on the radio. And even though that was in the late 90s, they were still playing a lot of her 80s songs.
Okay.
Like the Locomotion and stuff like that. So I actually had a lot of tapes with her on it. Cool. Weirdly enough, since I was only like 10 years old.
It's funny that you mentioned the Locomotion, because it's a song included in the Australian playlist, in
really?
the list of the episode. Yeah, it's a great song.
That's so funny.
Actually. Yeah. Sorry, Mia, you were just about to mention or to say something else. Yeah.
No, I had a bunch of these different tapes. So some of them were mainly 80s songs with Kylie Minogue, and other songs were local Danish artists singing in Danish as well. Danser med drenge, danseorkestret as well.
Nowadays, what do you see around? What are the most popular genres and artists in Denmark?
We are seeing a lot of indie musicians popping up everywhere. I think 5 years ago, there were a lot of new hip hoppers, new rappers
Okay.
becoming very big in Denmark. It exploded like the big hip hop and R&B scene in Denmark. But now it's mostly like indie, like pop rock.
Do these artists or bands, and same as the hip hop ones that from a couple of years ago, do they mostly sing in Danish or English, maybe?
It's very mixed.
Yep.
Some of them, they start having the first couple of hits in Danish, and then they change it up a bit.
To try and
But
reach other audiences abroad, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. But I think some of the biggest artists right now, they are still singing in Danish. The band that I'm thinking about as an example is called The Minds of 99. And they just exploded, and they are still singing in Danish actually.
Okay.
But if you take a look at Mø, she's been
Oh, yeah.
doing a lot of songs with Major Lazer. She has always been singing in English, and
Yeah.
she's huge in the
She's
US.
huge.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Actually, she's popular here too in Spain.
Yeah.
I've read actually that in Denmark, jazz it has a really long and important tradition, and also there is a huge festival in Copenhagen. I think the Copenhagen Jazz Festival.
Yeah.
Is it still popular jazz in Denmark? Would you say, or?
It probably has been mainstream at some point, but it's not anymore. But it's maybe the little bit older generation that actually pays to go to specific jazz concerts.
Okay.
But the jazz festival in Copenhagen and in Aarhus are very cozy and social festivals. Any music that's being performed out in the open, and where you can sit down and have a drink and listen to it with your friends, anything in that sort is very, very popular.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And with jazz, it just makes it a little bit more classy and nice, because the audience is always so nice as well.
Yeah, it's not like rock festival or electronic music festival. It's a different thing. Yeah. The Copenhagen Jazz Music Festival, it takes place in 100 venues around the city. So I guess that Denmark in general and Copenhagen in particular, it's a really good place to see live music, right?
It is. In fact, the Jazz Music Festival is also split up into free concerts and other places you need to pay to go see the artists. It's a very open and welcoming festival. And
would you recommend other music events in Denmark?
Yes, of course. We do have a lot of awesome festivals here. I don't know if you know Roskilde Festival.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
It's amazing. But we have a lot of other nice festivals. We have eco-focused festivals, one called Heartland, and we also have one in Aarhus called Northside. We have big festivals, and then we have those tiny festivals. And it's so much easier to talk to people there.
Yeah.
At those smaller festivals as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have a very big festival called Smukfest, which is said to be the most beautiful festival in Denmark. And then one of the smaller festivals, they call themselves the ugliest festival in Denmark. So it's trying to build that contrast around the big and beautiful festival and the small and ugly one, but cozy one.
And you mentioned eco, all the eco stuff and trends or whatever are really popular in Denmark, right?
Yeah, the more sustainable you can build.
That's the word.
Yeah, the more sustainable you can become, the more people actually start liking the festival.
And now it's time to reveal the title, the artist of the song you've chosen to represent Denmark on the global playlist. Are you ready for that, Mia? Yep.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and remember you have also to recommend the song in your mother tongue, please.
This is actually a song that I heard the first time at one of the smaller festivals. And a couple of years after that, they just exploded. I already mentioned the artists. They are called The Minds of 99.
Okay.
And the song is called Hurtige hænder, which if you translate it, it means quick on the hands. Første gang jeg hørte sangen var på en meget lille festival i Danmark. Og et års tid efter de spillede den her sang på festivalen, så blev den kæmpe stor. Og jeg hørte den derefter også til et bryllup, hvor sangen fik en betydning af, at man nogle gange bliver nødt til at være lidt hurtig på hænderne, for at få tingene til at lykkes i sin hverdag, og for at få familielivet og kærligheden til at hænge sammen. Så det er en sang, der betyder rigtig meget for mig, og jeg får næsten kuldegysninger hver gang jeg hører den.
Well, now it's time for the quiz. Are you ready, Mia?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ready. Let's go ahead then. First album you purchased?
With my own money, it was Ace of Base, The Bridge.
Okay, cool. Okay.
In like a very small local shop in the town I come from.
Favorite album?
My favorite album of all time is probably, this was a hard question actually, but it's the album I've heard the most in my entire life is probably Good Kid, Mad City with Kendrick Lamar. Okay. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, so there will be more Kendrick Lamar on this list.
Perfect. Top 3 artists?
No surprise, but Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I've been a fan since his album called Section 80 in 2011. The second artist is probably David Bowie. The third artist is PJ Harvey. I think she's really cool. And the way she's handling her guitar is just amazing. Favorite
song ever?
It's actually a song that's a little bit out of those genres that I already mentioned, but it's a song by the Cinematic Orchestra called To Build a Home. And it just gives me the chills every time I hear it. It's a little bit sad, but it's something that I keep coming back to. I can't really help it.
Favorite concert ever?
The Northside Festival here in Aarhus, 2019. And the artist was Radiohead.
Okay.
It was just pouring down. We were standing there in the rain and everything was so chilly and cold, but we kept at it and they were just amazing.
Favorite venue anywhere?
As previously mentioned, I like the smaller places basically. So we're places where we can fit maximum 3,000 people inside and where I know my way around, sort of like we have a smaller venue here in Aarhus called Atlas. So,
artists you will love to see performing live, remember, even if it's impossible?
Nirvana. I would have loved to see them live, but that will never happen.
Yeah, unfortunately. Top festival ever? Same thing?
Well, I love Northside Festival here in Aarhus because I'm getting old and comfortable, so I like going places and knowing the fact that I can go home to my own bed and sleep at night. Mm-hmm. If I were to pick anything else, I would love to try Coachella. I've never tried it.
Okay, cool. Makes total sense to me. I'm going through the same process. Okay, and now it's time for to tell us a guilty pleasure.
It's a song. That's kind of my guilty pleasure. It's actually Toxic with Britney Spears.
Okay, nice. It's a great
I know
song.
it's kind of weird. It's so out there, but every time if I go out and someone puts on that song, I always hit the floor.
Now it's time for the secret question. It's pretty special today, actually. I'm gonna show you a CD with the artwork on top of it of a Danish band. I'm gonna give you 3 options, 3 names. Those 3 names are from Danish bands. You just have to tell me the name of the band that recorded and published that album, okay?
Okay,
You have
okay.
to choose
Yeah,
between one of those three I'm gonna give you. Okay?
yeah.
I have the CD here. Tell me if you can properly, if you can see it. The options are Merciful Fate, The Blue Band, or Volbeat.
It's probably Volbeat.
Okay, but okay, yes, you're not sure. Gonna give you another clue. I'm gonna show you the cover of the album. Okay, maybe you
Okay.
can recognize it. It's pretty cool, actually. Can you see it?
Uh,
No clue.
I have no
If
clue.
I tell you that the album is called Man Up,
So is that uh,
remember
the Blue Van,
Merciful Fate,
maybe?
The Blue Band, or Volbeat. The Blue Band.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Okay, that's it. It's
Yes!
yeah, that's it. It's the Blue Band Man Up.
Cool.
Great.
Oh, I didn't know that one actually, to
Okay,
be
no,
honest.
but you did the right choice. You made the right choice, so congratulations, Mia. That
Thank
was
you.
perfect. Okay, so well, that was all. Remember, you can listen to all the music mentioned throughout the episode on the official profile on Spotify. Remember to listen to the podcast where you can discover the story behind the song chosen by Mia. Mia, thank you so much for visiting the Global Playlist. Hope you
I
enjoyed.
did. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye bye. Bye bye, guys.